The Cheeseboy 628 Show, starring Cheeseboy 628.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Cheeseboy 628 here today, giving you a Theory Thursday, and today's team will be UU Balanced. And this team was kind of suggested by Hydra the Samurott, but he suggested UU Sun, and at the time I thought, oh, it's a UU team, so hey, I'll use my buddy Bifey's team. Turns out he wanted Sun. My apologies, but this is still a great team and I hope you guys will enjoy it. Now before I talk about the team a little bit, I just wanted to say there's going to be a ton of huge improvements to Theory Thursdays from now on. First off, starting this week, suggested by the Blazin' Brit, he suggested that I put the team in the description, that way you're able to copy and paste to put in Showdown, put in PO, your choice, so thank you for that great suggestion. And one more thing, starting next week, Theory Thursdays are going to be revolutionized. There's going to be so many changes for the better that I think you guys are going to really enjoy it, so get excited. Now let's talk a little bit about my buddy Bifey's team here. He has a defensive core of Blastoise, Umbreon, and Cobalion, and then he has offensive threats of Bandit, Jolly Mienshao, Scarf Raikou, and Nasty Plot Togekiss. It's really threatening and fun to use, and let's see why it works. So if there's one thing that I really love about this team, it's the way that it's able to effectively revenge kill a ton of pokes in the UU meta, especially with Banded Mienshao and Scarf Raikou. There's not a lot of teams that are effectively able to get out of the Volt Turn combo. Also, it's a pretty darn bulky core. You know, if you have Umbreon on your team, your opponent's going to be pretty darn upset. Umbreon is usually a nasty special wall, but it definitely has some amazing physical bulk as well. And Blastoise does have very nice defenses, especially for being a rapid spinner. And you may have noticed that it does carry rest, and that's because Umbreon does have the heal bell, of course. Now you may notice I'm having some trouble against this metagame here, but of all pokes to help me out, it would be this freaking Umbreon, which is of course super weak to high jump kick. Definitely wouldn't be able to take it, but that protect is what's saving me here. Otherwise this core wouldn't be able to do too well, but Umbreon does keep it nice and stable. Finally, setup. There are a ton of pokes in this tier that are just so bulky and wall things for days if you don't have setup. Thankfully I do carry Togekiss, and with a couple nasty plots, I'm able to potentially sweep some teams, plus Togekiss is notably bulky, so don't mess with it. And here you can see Raikou's just able to revenge kill half of his team because there's nothing left to really take on the hits. So Raikou just T-bolts for days, eventually takes out the Smeloetta. Kind of weird that he didn't bring that in before he sacked Togekiss basically. But nonetheless, Umbreon can come in and just take him out with foul play, and that'll be that game. So it's a pretty solid team, but there are definitely some weaknesses, and let's see what those are. Now there's one weakness of this team that I noticed in the previous battle that's not necessarily in this battle. It could be, but I'm not sure what set the Honchkrow is carrying, but Scarfers. Scarf Metacham nearly ran over my entire team. Only because I had Protect on Umbreon I was able to survive. Otherwise I didn't really have anything in my defensive arsenal to actually be able to tank a hit. Maybe Blastoise, but Metacham, huge power, it's a threat. Also, I may have setup of my own, but as you can tell here, he has setup, and that is definitely working really well against my team. At first I was like, how is he fast? And then I realized, oh, I'm a Banded Mienshao, not Scarfed. So it takes forever just for me to be able to break this thing sub, and by the time that happens, I need a crit with extra sensory just to bring it down low. But even that's not enough. And he does switch out to take advantage with this Honchkrow here and does get the Mox, but the thing is, it's probably choice by the way that I brought my Cobalion and he instantly switched out. Maybe he didn't know I was defensive because he didn't want to take a hit, so I'm not entirely sure. Nonetheless, he's able to run through the rest of my team because this team doesn't exactly have the best defensive synergy, so therefore my core isn't too strong in that sense, as two of the pokes are weak to fighting and Blastoise certainly doesn't resist it. So a ghost on this team would be pretty helpful, but other than that, this team is pretty solid. I hope you all enjoyed. Feel free to use this team, it will be in the description. Keep on suggesting teams. I definitely look at all the comments for all your team suggestions and try to satisfy everyone's needs eventually, so keep on posting. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, sub, and until later, peace.